So I am actually here with Robert, and I know some of you guys already follow me on Matt's channel, Matt Granger, and yeah, you guys already know that I am his model, and some of you guys have actually asked me, hey, like different variations of the same question of like, hey, as a photographer, how do you direct models, or models, like how do you pose, and so on and so forth. So I thought it would be really cool for me and Robert to do a quick video about like just modeling poses and just like the ins and outs and whatever we can do.
Right. In my case, I try to teach the girls so that they learn how to pose on their own without me directing, because it'll look a lot more natural. Yes, I can tell you to put your hands on your hip, put your hand here, but whatever.
That's micromanaging, and
right.
You don't want to do that.
And it doesn't look believable. When I have new girls, I basically show them these two posters. And what happens is the figure posing poster basically says that the first 25 images are really all the same pose, but they make a small change. But when they make that small change, that allows the photographer to focus on photography, not managing the model.
Yeah, and I think that that's a very good point to kind of put out, because a lot of photographers just assume that they have to direct the model the whole time. But there's a reason why you hire models, because they know how to model.
Right.
So if you're a photographer and you have to micromanage and like literally like tell the model exactly how to pose because they don't know how to pose, then maybe they don't have enough experience as a model and that they need to practice. I used to practice a lot, and one of the key points I guess I want to put out there is like for any models or photographers that want to know, tell your models to practice their poses in the mirror.
Right.
It helps a lot. Something as simple as pointing your toes just makes the image.
Right.
There's like little things that actually help in making the photo look really, really good and the model look really, really amazing. But if you're a photographer, I don't think you want to worry about the lights, like the camera settings, like the composition,
right,
like all of those things, and also like, hey, yeah, I need to direct the model in a certain way. But I think a good point for beginning models or like beginning photographers who are collaborating, what I think is that if there are photos, like you guys could check out my photos, you could check out like on Instagram, there's like so many different photos of different models. If there's a particular pose that you like, as a photographer, save it on your phone, then during the shoot, show the model.
Right.
And just, hey, replicate this as best as you can.
One of the things that I try to tell girls is they don't even think of this. I says, you know, face posing becomes really an art form, and it makes the picture, because if the face isn't anything, then who cares about the rest of it? And so ultimately, it's one of those deals where I try to teach the girls how to practice and learn new faces, and I tell them to do it every night before they go to bed. So it's, people think that it's like, oh, I come here, I have a pretty face, I can put my hand on my hip, and I'm a model.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and you're not.
I mean, I've been modeling since 2010, and I worked with you, was it that year too? I don't remember. But we're on our, how many shoots is this?
This is 38.
Okay, 38? Mm-hmm. Really? I thought we were already at 38.
Or maybe 39.
I don't know. Well, regardless, I worked with Robert a lot. So with him, I already know, I guess, the little quirks of like, hey, yeah, I already know if I'm like here, I'm gonna go into the next pose, and that's what he wants to see. There are certain photographers that do like to give you a lot of directions, like chin down all the time. If they say chin down 3 times, obviously every shot from then on out, chin down. So I guess right now we'll just show you like the behind the scenes of like how we shoot. I mean, you guys have seen it plenty of times, but I guess we'll do like a little bit more of an explanation of certain things, like don't touch the model.
Right.
Right?
Well, that's true, but lots of times I tell photographers that tell the model you're going to touch her hand and then pose them, because I had a guy in here
just asking for permission. It's just something as being nice as like
being
asking for permission.
And so like he would take 10 minutes to get somebody's hands in the right position. I'm going, just tell her you're going to touch her hands and move them, and in 2 seconds you have her pose correctly, rather than verbally trying to move their hands and go,
it's
no,
like
a little bit further,
left,
a little
move it to the right, a little bit more, halfway, go half.
And the spontaneity is gone.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it's too stiff.
Right.
So
ultimately, by getting them to loosen up and cracking jokes and being pleasant with them, it's not that complicated, you know?
And building a relationship, like a model photographer relationship, is very important. I've worked with photographers who just say like, oh, I don't work with the same model like twice. or a model who says I don't work with the same photographer twice. I don't think that's a good idea, because if you were to see my photos from when I first shot with Robert years ago when I didn't know how to model very well compared to now, it's way different. Putting the time and investing the time into a model or into a photographer is actually really great, because there's growth in both areas.
On both of us.
Yeah, and I think the more comfortable both parties are, the better the images turn out.
Right.
But yeah, so we're gonna do some shooting right now. Yeah, let's get into it. Is this close?
Yes, it's very close.
Okay. Communication is also very important, people.
Right.
If you're like, if it's full body, pose full body. If it's this close up, close up.
Yes, because here we're trying to get really nice faces, and you'll see that she's constantly coming into faces. And now, the only time I change something is I'll say, I'm going to shoot this twice. There you go, stop there, and I'm going to shoot this twice. And a tiny bit more of a smile. And there you go, perfect. And lots of times when I do guide people, I'm guiding them because I'm trying to get the glint in their eyes exactly where I want it. And a lot of people are ignoring that.
Models, when you're posing, I think it's very important, like, no harsh angles, so you really, I mean, unless you're doing like Vogue or somewhere it's like this hunched over stuff.
Right.
But I personally, like, my style is not really like the hard angled style. I like to shake my arms out and just kind of let them like fall wherever they fall. But it's just,
fall naturally.
Yeah, naturally, and that's also practicing. But don't do like those like,
Right.
like subtle movements are the best way, because the photographer can follow a lot easier. And just keep in mind, I'm in no way like a supermodel or anything. This is just freelance. I do this as my career. But I don't know, in case you guys need information, there you go. Like, this sounds weird, but okay, my arm, it's like this, but the second I squeeze in, it's wider, and like it creates like weird striations in your arms.
Right, and then somebody's going to have to either fix that or that's a junk picture.
Yeah, Photoshop or something. Hands are very important. I can't even emphasize how much like hands are important.
Right, and,
you move it
not
here and
making them look
here,
like,
it changes.
Right, and not making them look like crab claws is really important. So a lot of people don't understand that. It's like they have to, like lots of times I tell models to just drop their hands at the, down, and when they're like that, see how her hands are soft and gentle? Now when she brings those soft and gentle hands back up, they're still in that soft, gentle position, not in a hard position. I think we got enough for this.
We got enough with this look.
Yeah, let's...
Flip hop, look, I got a toy gun, y'all, let's go! What the fuck, this is real?
And we're going to get some cheesesteaks because we never got you cheesesteaks the other 2 times you came here in America, to Jersey, sorry, not America, to Jersey. I mean, and we'll, you know, because we're next to Philly, right? So we're going to go to Philly.
I had cheesesteak, but not Philly, like true Philly cheesesteaks.
Sure, okay. Yeah, because I remember I was in Japan and I was like a Hard Rock Cafe and they had cheesesteaks.
Oh.
And it was like on a croissant. It was like fucking bougie. I was like, it's not a cheesesteak. But it's, you know, I get it.
They put cheese whiz on it?
No, it was like some fondue, like style ass cheese or some shit. Like
that sounds bougie as hell.
I know. So mom says you wanted mushroom. What do you want? You want just cheesesteak?
Cheesesteak is with onions, maybe. If it doesn't cost extra. Did we get it? Alright. We got it? Go. Show it. Show it. Flip. Look at it.
Alright. Wow, this is yours right there.
I kind of figured that you guys would come over here and like sit over on this side. Go ahead and try to take my car.
Alright.
Get them steaks.
Oh, that's fine?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Messy.
No, we barbarians.
Alright, I got you. Sorry. I know you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
Enjoy.
Philadelphia original.
This is your classic ass fucking South Philly cheesesteak. Look at that grease.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Gino's. Cause he said like, it was like, I want it greasy. Gino's.
Greasy.
I mean, you know, it depends. There's different school. Like, I don't know. What are Pat's or Gino's?
I think the one I like is actually the one on South Street.
Ooh.
I don't remember. I'll probably get yelled at for not remembering.
Revel in it. I'm doing the push-in thing.
Fuck.
Right.
It's trippiness.
Oh my god, it's so greasy.
Trippiness.
Oh my god. That's how you. Oh god. Oh. Hey, what's up, everybody? So we are here at Yellow Submarine, South Jersey. Apparently, I saw Food Network as the best cheesesteak place in all of America.
There's another spot, the Yellow Submarine in Maple Shade, New Jersey.
Cheesesteak number 3.
Let's go. What's gonna say? Yeah, if you ever come to the H, I'll take out to our
To the H. I like that.
H-Town.
Why don't we have like whatever? What about it?
I'll take it to a burger spot. It's called
Burger spot.
well, it's like a chain. It's like Whataburger.
Oh, burger spot.
Yeah.
He said it was the best burger ever.
People say that. I'm an In-N-Out guy.
This thing where it's like, what the fuck is like gourmet fast foods and shit? What the
Shake
fuck?
Shacks and stuff.
Like, is that a gourmet? Like, what makes it a gourmet burger?
I think it's more of a sit-down restaurant. There's no drive-thru. That's my take on it. Like with Hop Dottie, that's Austin-based. Shake Shack. But
What's Shake Shack?
It's a burger place.
It's a New York-based burger spot.
Yeah. No, Shake Shack's are fairly recent if you think about it. It's been like at least 7 years.
I mean, I guess.
There's a Shake Shack near us, dude.
I didn't know.
There's a Shake Shack near us.
You do? Angela's still experiencing a lot of stuff too, so.
But
The beard is good though, right? Like, we can keep this for
yeah,
the
it just
bad guy thing.
yeah.
Shave it up. Shave it up. Shave it up.
Hit up this
I
girl
gotta-
named
Look
like
at this,
Nadia,
you not
like
like
in
it.
like San
It's
Diego.
so big.
That's what she said.
That's
an arm.
An arm and some change.
Yeah. Perfect background music.
So,
That's pretty good.
but is it the best? Ooh.
I still take Gino's.
It's the grease.
Yeah, I
think
think
you
the
like
grease.
the grease.
Cool.
This is really good.
Really good. Does it get the flip thumbs up?
Yo, Intern, can we get like more plates though?
I will. I was finishing this.
Okay, so next look. Since I shoot with Robert a lot, we actually do a lot of test shoots so that way we can prepare. And I mean, preparation is very important when you do a lot of photo shoots. And to get a good shoot together, you need to do a lot of preparations. And that's inclusive of test shoots. So I do a lot of test shoots with him and we just try out different outfits, different looks, see what works, different lighting. I think a good point to add as a photographer, it's a good investment to just be an assistant.
Right.
Learn how to direct. So this video, well, this part of the video, Robert's gonna direct me as if I don't know how to model.
So in our case, you're right. I want to elaborate on what Steph said about assistant. A lot of times, even though you're a photographer, lots of times it's very difficult for you to think of yourself as the assistant. But when you learn how to be a good assistant, then that makes you a much, much better photographer. And so if you can get beyond your own ego and help somebody do the lighting, do the setup, do the, you know, all the little pieces that make a good image come together, that becomes really helpful. And so ultimately, and Steph, in your case, I want you to, cross your ankles. There you go, good. And now, put your hands behind your back like your little schoolgirl. There you go. All right, so now what I want you to do, because you're exceptionally thin, and I can, in post, remove the clip that's back there, I want you to turn sideways. Okay, so I want you to now bring this shoulder that's closest to me up. There you go. And relax that arm. There you go, much better. And now bring that the back foot out. There you go. And like stand on your toe a little bit. There you go, perfect. All right, thank you. You know, like when you're acting cutesy and you do that shoulder thing? Yeah, there you go. But I want your hands on your hips a little bit. There you go, good. Now, even though she's doing this perfectly and exactly the way I want, you'll see that this is a whole lot stiffer than what we were doing before. And so ultimately, having the model be able to pose by herself becomes so valuable. A lot of people just don't recognize that. And so, practice makes perfect, you know? And so, I want you to put one hand on your shoulder, the other shoulder. There you go. All right, now you already see how stiff this is? All right, so now bring your shoulder around and bring your head the opposite direction. There you go. And bring your chin up a little bit and bring that shoulder up a little bit. There you go, good, stay there.
See how much time it takes away?
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, I'm not thinking in my next shot, I'm thinking about how to pose her. And when you have a model that's posing for you, that takes a lot of the stress off, and so then I can start thinking about moving where I want to move my camera, where I want to move the lighting. Lots of times, you know, Steph knows that there will be times where I make tiny little adjustments to the lighting because I'm concentrating on how it's looking. Whereas if I'm posing her, I don't have any time to even think about the lighting because I have it sort of set up.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with posing.
Yeah, thank you. Because
it's just faster, and
right.
plus, like, because models, as myself, we get paid by an hourly rate. If we're gonna get paid by an hourly rate and have to spend time changing, because there's models that won't change like on the go, and also don't know how to pose, you're paying a model for like, what, 20 poses for an hour?
That's retarded.
Like, no. It should be 20 poses like every, like, I don't know, 5 minutes?
Right.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I can't do the math, or no. I've never actually counted how long it takes for me to pose.
But like Steph and I will do a normal shoot and we'll get somewhere around 300 shots in about 3 hours. Or maybe less, and that's also including time for her to get changed and what have you, so it's not really like we're shooting the entire time.
And plus it's different between us too because we joke around a lot, so.
Right, yeah. We do have the tendency to clown around a little bit, but that's what makes it fun. There you go. Now think about how long it would have taken me to get her into that pose. Yes. Yes. In your case, again, I'm going to reiterate the situation that if you stop buying equipment, because let's face it, we all have, as photographers, we all have that problem that we want to buy more equipment because we think it'll help, and sometimes it does help. But most of the time you'll find, oh, that's not something I actually needed. What you needed is a model like Steph. So save your pennies and hire Steph because she's worth every cent. And so then you're going to get great images, and when you get great images, oh, that's right, people will pay you more.
Oh, and models who need a portfolio, hire Robert. You get to learn a lot. I mean, I'm only a good model now just because of all the photographers I've worked with and everything that they have taught me along the way.
Right.
So it's a good investment, I think.
Yes.
And also as a model, you always have to make sure that your clothes, as a model, you don't have to just worry about poses, but your image as well. So if your cuffs are messed up, or if it's like not buttoned up all the way, or if it's not straightened, you need to be conscientious of that at all times. You can't even turn around. But
Yeah, you can, because I can fix it.
no, I could turn this.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Good idea. Perfect. See? See, this is what I'm talking about when you have a model that can think. You know, she's already thinking ahead. And we're getting results because she is doing her job well. And allowing me to concentrate on how I'm posing her, or how I'm capturing the pose. Oh, and a simple tip for models for posing is if you're fortunate enough to have the photographer give you the entire shoot, then take that opportunity to look at all the images and study them.
Yeah.
And to study what you did wrong with the ones that you don't like and how you could improve them, and what did you do right so that you can do it again. And so a lot of people don't realize that that is the perfect lessons that you can take that are for free. Now, that said, I know that some photographers want you to reduce their rates if he gives you all the images, which honestly I think is still worth it because you're learning, you know, and you have to learn how to do things better.
The tear sheets, study them. Just make sure you, like, it's not just you looking good. I think that's always a misconception when it comes to modeling. It's not you, it is the image that your team, the photographer, the makeup artist wants to convey. I think that's always like the weird thing. I think if I was going to give any tip to any model, it would be, it's not you. It's never you. It's the clothes.
Right.
It's the look. It's the theme. If we're doing a theme where it's body painting, it's the body paint.
Right. It's not you.
You're the canvas. You're the subject that they add more things to accentuate those additional things. But it's not you, really.
Right. and it's funny because I was just in Key West and we went to a bunch of museums, and there's a lot of body painting in Key West. And these were just mannequins that were painted, and take my word for it, it wasn't, if that was a person, it wasn't about the person, it was about the design of the paint. And so you have to, or the one thing that always drives me nuts is every once in a while I'll get a model in here and we're shooting a clothing line, and she goes, well, I don't want to wear this. I'm saying, they're paying you.
Yeah.
You have no opinion if you like the clothing or not.
Exactly. If a makeup artist doesn't want to give you eyebrows for a shoot, you have no eyebrows for that shoot. Lauren, I got you, girl. Like, I know stories. But yeah, I mean, it's the clothes. You need to sell the clothes. You need to sell the theme. You're not selling yourself. I mean,
Right.
you sell yourself as a model, but the whole point of being a model is for you to show off everything else. So it depends on different themes. Like when we do our editorial stuff, when was the last thing we did? Stones.
Right.
Like I had stones all over the place. You put that on a normal person, they're like, I look nuts. I don't know what to do. This is weird. I have little pebbles all over my body.
And
But
I guarantee you that it'll be published and it will have a main theme on it, and people are going to love it. And then when people see it, because I have this amazing model, she makes this crazy stuff look phenomenal.
I don't even look like myself. Hence, it is not about me.
Right. And that's a key feature that models need to get to understand, and photographers need to understand, is that, you know, they are the canvas that are presenting a subject. You know, and so depending on what the subject is, it will be depending on how we, you know, how we present this.
We could literally keep talking about like posing and modeling and photographers and all of that stuff, but I guess we'll just end this video. But yeah, so we're gonna keep shooting because we don't have that much time left. But if you guys really like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Definitely check out Patreon if you guys want to help support our School Dropouts. And if you guys need a photographer for any needs, if you're a model or you just need headshots or anything, check out Robert. I'll throw his website and his Instagram.
And I do train photographers, so.
Yeah, so if you guys want some training as photographers and you're getting into portrait and like photography, definitely check out Robert. I'm 38, 39 shoots. So obviously I'm comfortable enough to work with him, and if you guys want to learn from him as well, like, definitely check it out. And if there's any, I guess, topics in regards to like modeling or photography or just like photographers and like that relationship that you guys are interested in, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I will work on getting a video out to address your questions. So
Sweet.
Yeah. All right.
And
bye.
again, hire her. She's phenomenal.
All right. Bye guys. We're gonna keep shooting.
Go, let me go.